So we're here at the Boulder City Pistol and Rifle Range here in Las Vegas for the 2019 SHOT Show. Isaac and I are going to be walking through this event, commentating on a few things, talking about some stuff. We've got a lot of meetings that we have to do for T.Rex Arms. We're also shooting some of the guns here at Media Day, and also going to be shooting some guns over at the Wilcox Range Day as well, which is located west of Vegas. So we're just going to be walking around, checking some stuff out, and giving our opinion on a few things.
First, we headed over to shoot the new Glock 48. New Glocks are kind of boring since they're just so monotonously good, but
yeah, 48.
48 did feel better in hand than I had expected. I just barely got Lucas shooting it here because I was still messing with my iPro.
Got a holster for that yet?
Soon. Well, I mean, it'll fit a 43 holster, but yeah. I like it.
Yeah, but what about the mag pouch?
Oh, will it not fit?
Nope.
Oh. Well, that sucks. No, we'll have that. We'll have that taken care of very soon. Do you have a 45 here?
Yes, sir.
You know what you're doing?
I don't know. Yeah. Let's see some of this.
There's a lot of good-natured ribbing at this booth.
Shane, that's it. Drop the mic. There you go. Oh!
Having fun with friends in between the meetings
All right.
is probably the best part of SHOT Show.
Well, cool.
Then we headed over to play with Aimpoint's new Acro P1.
Totally enclosed design.
Yep.
Just like our micro, only smaller.
Yep. Nice.
But right out of the gate, for any of the factory pistols that are optic ready, we have a plate for it.
So it's so rather than the Aimpoint. So I used to run a T1 on a Glock.
Yeah.
So obviously it's got a mount up to
Yep.
the bottom
Nope.
with like an Atom plate.
No, plate
this is
goes
on the
first.
side.
Yeah, so you take the plate, you put it on the slide, run the mounting screws in, and then this clamps to our plate. So you'll see
It's a red dot optic that's billed as being tough enough for rifles, but light enough for pistols.
So it's a very, very sturdy mount.
What's the weight difference between this and a micro, a T1?
Oh God, this is a third of the weight.
Yeah, it feels like nothing.
Yeah, it weighs almost nothing. 3.5 minute dot.
Is that the only option at this time?
Correct.
It's 3.5.
Yeah.
Are there
Yeah.
any plans on doing a 1?
I don't know. Not right now. No.
That's cool. That's a
Yeah.
lot smaller than I thought it would be.
It's the same footprint as any of the RMRs or the Delta Points or any of those.
Yep.
And the fact that it's a tube within a tube design,
Yeah.
completely enclosed.
Yep.
You're never going to have to worry about
Mud,
dirt, dust,
anything.
mud,
Yep.
water
Yep.
covering the emitter because it's all inside.
Wow. What's the price? 7, 8?
$660 retail.
Oh, 660. Good. So MSRP is like 790, but then retail 660.
No, 660 is suggested retail. So,
Oh, so it'll be
plan
a
on
little-
less than that. So figure less than that. Figure 600 at the gun shops at the dealers.
That's impressive.
Figure,
That's good because
yeah.
I've been wanting, and because I used to run a T1 on a Glock
Yeah. Oh, sure.
specifically
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I wanted it enclosed.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's
And durable,
very
and,
yeah.
External battery, all that good stuff. It's setting 7.
Which it's a smaller battery.
It
Just
is a
wanna say-
smaller battery. Yeah, it's a 1225.
Okay.
It's gonna be a little harder to find, but
Battery life is like
battery life's at least a year
on
at
high?
setting 7.
Set-
So
oh.
normal daytime setting. You got 10 brightness settings. First 4 are night vision. Remaining 6 are visible.
So,
By the
setting
time you get to
7
10, it's
Okay,
too bright to use. It's like 10 is extra bright, just like all our sights.
So 7. Okay, so right now it's on 10. So
Go to
7
10
would
and go
be
down.
1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. Can I shoot it?
Of course, yeah, absolutely. That's over here.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah. That recoils, it feels like it's recoiling a lot less than a T1 because of the weight. Because that was the downside with like a T1, is it was so much
You
weight up
feel a
top.
little- you feel a little more of the
Yeah.
thunka, thunka, yeah.
And I like that glass. The glass
It's
isn't,
so clear.
it's not super blue,
Nope,
which is a
not at all.
problem with,
Nope. Yeah, and if you do a side-by-side with, say, an R&R and ours, you're going to be amazed how clear that glass is.
yeah. And then suppressor sights, just normal height will
If you wanna-
co-witness.
Yeah, if you want to co-witness sights, run a front suppressor sight, run all suppressor sights.
Yep. Yeah, that's nice.
We're going to do a more in-depth comparison of pistol dots once we can really test it out, but so far it looks pretty good.
Less battery life than a T2, but I can definitely get used to this timing and this recoil of what's going on, and then comparing it to an RMR. Yes, it's different. Some guys will prefer an RMR because it looks smaller and is lighter, but
Yes, I mean, but yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, does that make a difference in
Right.
weight of one round of ammo? No, that's irrelevant. Footprint size, same.
I'm happy. I like it.
Now T.Rex, we already sell Geissele triggers, and we're big fans of those, so it's really fun to try out some of their
I'm afraid to
complete
shoot it because then
rifles.
it might make me want to get one. Just go buy a gun for the trigger. That's what I'm afraid of.
They're going to be basically 100% Geissele products.
Yep.
If it's not a spring and it's not plastic, it's going to be made by Geissele. So,
That's pretty
go
awesome.
ahead and kind of slide over this way.
So yeah, man, and you know these have, they're gonna have the Geissele gas system, which is kind of something that we developed. It's pretty much, it's got a little more umps than a MIG length, and it just makes them highly reliable with any sort of ammo, especially like M855A1 and green tip. Yeah.
Where are you from? I'm from North Carolina. Okay.
The rifles ran really well, and were just really well timed and well tuned.
It's shooting a little.
Now then, in the super loud long range shed, I found the new SENSIGHT digital red dot. But this is the first thing that I've seen, because there are, of course, other digital sights. But this is the first one that I've seen that is no magnifying optics, no eye box, no eye relief issues, and it's basically an Android phone with a prism that creates the viewport. I'm not really sure how they're going to justify the probably $1,000 price tag. What do the two cameras do?
One is for higher distances for day vision, and the other one is for low light and night vision without illumination.
Excellent. So one of my questions would be durability, because obviously you have a capacitive touchscreen on the top and everything's kind of exposed. So what are the issues with moisture? It's like a ruggedized piece of consumer tech. It's tough, but not that tough. It's got lots of options like GPS and recording and Wi-Fi streaming, but only 8 hours of battery. Game calls. Interesting. It's really easy to get at all the options using that cool touchscreen, but the whole thing is just really wide.
Tell me what your vertical preference is. So I'll go here and push vertical, and then now you can choose different verticals.
And now if I go to 200, it's got a ballistic calculator, and it's really easy to adjust the variables. These further targets.
Make it bigger because if not, okay, you want it to circle around.
Lag is pretty bad, but I guess it's fine for static targets. Then we ran into the in-range TV guys, who do a much better job of covering this event than we do, by the way, so you should check out their stuff. They share my mixed feelings about Kel-Tec, but I gotta say, we really do like the new CP33 in 22 long rifle.
I like that. And the price point is how much?
Like $475, I think is the MSRP.
Yeah, that's cheap. And then a can.
Seems like a really nice suppressor host.
And then some sort of I was trying to figure out.
I mean, 40 was kind of the whole.
I just need to talk to some people. There's a brace on here.
Want to get this test tonight.
And then you got your block right here. That's nice. Cool. I like that.
Thank you.
Hey man,
Let's go, dude.
can you talk to me about what you guys are doing for Scorpion?
Yep, so we have our PMAG 35 EV9.
Right.
So 35 round capacity, they're loaded with 15 today. We have our Mo Evo grip with our TSP texture, and then our Mo Evo enhanced magazine release.
All right, so mag really.
Now, obviously, Magpul's become the leader of aftermarket parts, mags, and furniture for a whole bunch of guns. The latest one is the CZ Scorpion.
This is the standard safety.
Yep, factory safety.
We've done a really good job at improving the ergonomics on a cool little gun that was just hampered by a few little weaknesses.
Yeah. Bang. Yeah, that's nice. That's just a standard install, just single.
Yep, 5 32nd inch punch, boom, put new one in, get the spring all lined up, and you're good to go.
You push it all the way.
They also make their stuff pretty affordable.
Yeah. Nice. And then your magazines, are they standards or 30 rounds, correct?
35.
35? And then how much are these roughly?
1995.
1995. And then the mag release is about how much?
Mag release and grip are both going for $24.95.
I like that. Yeah, that's a necessary upgrade.
They were pretty stoked on it.
Yeah. It's nice. And then I saw the MP5 handguard. That's cool. I'm gonna check
so
that
we don't
out
have that here,
at the
but we'll
booth.
have it at our booth.
Yep, I'll check that out. It's cool. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much.
Be safe.
Good
And
stuff.
now it's time to hit the road. So, this is actually my favorite part of Vegas, out in the desert, away from Vegas.
That's nice. So we just got done at Media Day. We're heading over now to the front sight training facility where Wilcox has their range day, where they've partnered up with a bunch of companies, Unity Tactical's out there. Really looking forward to seeing what Unity Tactical has and checking out the new Wilcox laser. We didn't see a whole lot of stuff that was really new or interesting there at Media Day. Probably the coolest thing that I got to play with and talk and look at was the Aimpoint Acro, which is their new optic, which I think has a lot of merit for a pistol optic. And that'll be coming out pretty soon here. That's really the only thing I saw that was super cool. Looked at some the Scorpion upgrades that Magpul's been working on. Talked to a few people there, but there wasn't a whole lot of really new stuff. And that's just kind of the thing with SHOT Show and kind of how the industry works. You'll have 1 year where there's a lot of stuff, and then the next year there may not be very much, and then the next year there's a lot of new stuff. And I think next year there's going to be a lot of new, optics and new technology that's coming out. But this year, it's not a whole lot. I don't think there's going to be a lot of stuff at SHOT Show, but we'll see.
I tried a couple of optics that I'm going to look at in greater depth on the floor, but it was fun to actually try to shoot with them and see what it was like to actually deal with recoil and lag and target acquisition on the floor in the dark. Everything is going to be super easy to use that has a screen. So it was nice that we had a really sunny, glary day out in the desert to actually test the how bright red dots were, how visible screens were, stuff like that.
So funny note on that. Last year, when a ton of companies released low power variable optics, they were all saying daylight bright, daylight whatever, and you're in a dark convention center. And yeah, on full brightness, they bloom. There's a lot of brightness from those optics. But as soon as you get out into the sun or just go outdoors, you can barely see the illumination from those optics through those reticles.
And there's a lot of stuff that you cannot do out on a range in a few minutes. So it's fun to shoot a new gun, but one mag, half a mag, 2 mags, you can't learn a whole lot. But optics are neat. You can look through an optic and you can say, oh, this isn't really working in the daylight, or oh, I really can't figure out the eye relief it's going to take me a while to learn this. There's a lot of stuff that you can figure out in 5 minutes, and then there's a lot of stuff you can't figure out in 5 minutes. But those are all good things to remember, because generally at Media Day, or Industry Day as it's called now, you have about 5 minutes.
Yeah, how was that? I need to talk to you. How was that LCD monitor thing? What was the magnification? I saw you were zooming in and out with that, and it's all digital.
Yeah.
What was the max magnification you got to?
Oh, it went up to 12.
But is it a good 12?
It was a good 6.
Yeah. This video is going to be so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like.
Wilcox Industries makes a lot of night vision mounts that we use, and then a whole bunch of other stuff that we don't. Everything from really long range fire control systems to breaching tools and life support systems. We can't really appreciate how awesome this stuff is, so we headed over to Unity Tactical to see their new fast optics mounts. First, the micro mount, which is tall enough to contain a backup rear sight.
This one has both the front in there as well, but most people are probably not going to use it that way. Most people are probably just going to use the rear sight and a standard front up here.
So it's 2.26
to center line for the optic.
Doesn't seem as tall as is that as tall as the Knights one, or is it shorter?
It's slightly shorter.
Okay, good. Because that one was too tall. Like, I did not like that one. This one, I still have some chin on the gun, which I like. That's nice.
Well, and then.
Hey guys, so I have the Unity Tactical Fast Mount right here. This is the new mount system that they have just announced here at 2019 SHOT Show. The thing that's really cool with this is obviously you have an optic that sits a little bit taller up, 2.26, and you can see iron sights underneath the mount. But probably the coolest thing with this mount actually is their integrated flip to center magnifier mount. What this does is this actually puts the magnifier in line with the upper receiver of the weapon. This is very useful if you're obviously slinging your rifle, or if you're transitioning to a pistol, where a traditional magnifier as you transition will then get flicked over in front of your red dot. So then when you transition back to your carbine, now obviously you have to flip that out of the way after you reload. This keeps the gun nice and slim, which is very nice for bag carry. And then I'll demonstrate just how fast it is deploying it, getting it up into the red dot, and then getting it out of the red dot itself. So let's hit some targets with this and see how fast it is. So yeah, it's pretty fast. That's definitely my favorite, probably one of my favorite features of this entire optic setup. But it's coming soon to Unity Tactical, and I'm going to be running this, and I like it. It's nice. It's really convenient for bags, and the other thing is, the big issue I have with the magnifier off the side is when I transition, like it pops over. So as soon as I come back to the gun, I'm like, I reload, and then I have to push it back. Can you adjust the sensitivity or the?
We are, so right now it's about 12. We're thinking about taking it to 15 pounds. We want to be just a little bit stiffer, but I mean, it's not moving when you shoot.
No.
So
how soon can I?
These will actually be shipping in March.
This is cool.
T.Rex will want to buy them and sell
them.
No,
I think I'm already very interested.
Yeah.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
And now we're headed back to Vegas for the rest of SHOT Show. Thanks for watching this video. Check back on the T.Rex channel for part 2 and probably part 3 of our SHOT Show coverage.